Hello viewers, I'm Red2006 and I'm very pleased to have you join me for the latest episode of A Link to the Past Randomizer. As a quick recap, in the last episode, I made a jailbreak with the silver arrows, finally found the all-important mirror, and tangled with Blind the Thief. For this episode, we're heading up Death Mountain to plunder the treasure there. With the mirror in our hand, we are ready to head up to Death Mountain. We can finally get the lamp and proceed through a few new areas. I know it's perhaps a little odd for me to be talking about a Pokemon game again in the middle of a Zelda randomizer, but I'm fresh off watching the Nintendo Direct on Pokemon Sword and Shield last night. While I'm reserving the hype until they actually come out and I can see what the games are like, visually they look quite impressive and some interesting ideas are being executed. Admittedly, I'm probably not too fond of Dynamax because it's another Mega Evolution style gimmick, but it at least gives other Pokemon a chance to do something, because I think Mega Evolution was very much mishandled. A lot of potential was wasted, and a lot of Pokemon could have benefited from it, getting the opportunity to become competitively viable. A lot of Mega Evolutions don't actually help the Pokemon that got them, or they just wind up making an already strong Pokemon even more powerful. But as I said, visually it looks very impressive, and I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do with the champion. There will have to be something up with him. Quite frankly, I'm a little disappointed that the champion wasn't the Queen, sporting a few corgis at level 100, but what we have should be pretty good. I have to say the graphics do look impressive. Seeing all the Pokemon in different wild locations is impressive too. But of course, that's just my opinion. You're more than welcome to disagree with me as long as you do so politely. Anyway, we are on our search in Eastern Death Mountain. You can also access this area if you have the hookshot. It's a very handy region for treasure hunters. You'll find quite a few chests around here. For example, drop down here and there's a chest a lot of people might miss. In fact, during a normal run you may well miss this area because there's no reason to come here. Okay, better not waste time fighting then. Instead, we can head off to the easternmost area, and we can head into what's called Paradox Cave. I'll quickly show you something. It's this entry? Yeah. See, this is actually the basement floor of Paradox Cave. Bit of money never hurts. And if we head off this way, this cave on the lowest level leads to the first floor. So as you can see, lower floor entered on higher area. But bomb this wall for a couple of goodies. As I said in the first episode, you will learn a lot about the game. A lot of these out-of-the-way areas that might just hold rupees or ammunition pickups, they become vital in randomizers. You never know what you're going to find in these caves. Alright, we've got the blue mail. As you can see, I have now become a shiny Bronzor. And we've got the Bombos Medallion and the Red Shield at last. So the next thing to do will be to head back up. Let's see. Alright, so I don't have any keys for the Tower of Hera. I can't actually grab that much. But there are 2 chests I can get, so I will. In my very first recording, during some of the failed attempts at that, I had a really chaotic time with the Tower of Hera. I decided I'd just go straight there because I could. I didn't have the big key. I got most of the way through it, then reality set in. So that was a little frustrating, and then shortly after that, I decided I'd go and fight Aghanim because I'd managed to find a sword at last. I managed to conveniently forget that you needed the Master Sword because I didn't actually have the cape at the time. So yeah, that whole recording session was a bit of a fiasco. But I eventually did much better, though I was a bit disappointed because I sort of spoiled the surprise. I knew where everything was. Anyway, if you're doing the standard run, not a key, if you're not doing a key sanity, you can get through this dungeon fairly easily. Just have a map down there, but I'll pick it up for completion's sake. The maps still don't help much if you know what you're doing. The compasses, on the other hand, are much better. As you can see, since I have the compass, which I will demonstrate there, I can see how many items I have left to pick up. Okay. Mimic Cave is late in the game. It's where a very well hidden heart piece can be located in Turtle Rock. Alright, so we've got what we can in here. See, looking at what we have, our next destination should again be the Dark World. We can pick up some items near Kakariko Village. Do have to go the long way around because I don't have the Titan's Mitt. But once you get the mirror, quite a lot of options open up to you. Also worth noting, single trees like that, ones that aren't set in with a whole lot of others, you can actually charge them to get things with the Pegasus boots. I think that one drops apples, which will actually restore your health. Interestingly, that element popped up in a couple of manga adaptations of A Link to the Past. That one, I think, drops a magic jar. I would like to demonstrate. I'll have to do that once I find the Pegasus boots. Even though the game considers them a vital item, I usually don't find them until late in the game. You need them for a few pickups, but I will note that I think there are more important items. For example, you actually need the bow to finish the game, but the game doesn't track that. I may have mentioned it, but it's just the first sword, the mirror, the flute, and the Pegasus boots. So we want to head out here and towards the entrance of Death Mountain. I discussed it a little bit earlier. That particular entranceway becomes what's known as Bumper Cave. I might have brought it up in the first episode. So up there is just 10 arrows. We do not need to go there. Our destination is behind the graveyard. There are several places where you can talk to NPCs and they will actually restore your health. That cave back there that would be the sanctuary is one of them. Oh, can I actually get there? Okay, so I can go there. A circuitous route, but I can get there. So come up here. Now you will need the Titan's Mitt to get in. Okay, as I was saying, you will need the Titan's Mitt and the Pegasus boots to get into King's Tomb, which you can see in the bottom right. top up on health and bombs here. Alright, actually fairly helpful for us. I will go back into the Dark World though, because there is a place south of the Village of Outcasts where you can get an item using the mirror. Do have to go the long way round again. Much better when you can take a lot less damage too. I think I explained all the issues with the armour in a previous episode. But yeah, most games it'll be a case of you halve damage. This will take a heart or half a heart off depending on the circumstances. Sometimes it doesn't actually take that, which is a little odd. We will need the Titansmith for a couple of things around here. Just want to check if I did something. I've just blanked out on actions between recording sessions. No, did do that. That's all good. It's kind of out of the way, and I did tend to forget about it on quite a few randomizers. And I did the digging game as well. So all we have to do for now is to head down this way and look for a circle of bushes. Stand anywhere around here. And we go in here to find a new item, which is just a key. Another key to Turtle Rock. Might be worth going up there at some point, but since I'm heading to the Tower of Hera and going a bit further in, I can stop there afterwards. I should probably also go to the... Guide the Old Man. Why can't I English? Yes, I should go to Guide the Old Man back to his house. He's actually going to be in two places at once, which is kind of odd. Zelda isn't in two places at once in the open randomizer. But you guide him back and you get an item. It's where you get the mirror in the regular game, but it's just something. If you're looking for a quick way to get down from Death Mountain, this is the way. Hang a left, don't fall into any pits. You can dash along the wall here, but I prefer not to, because if you're facing towards that wall, you'll bounce off at the end and fall into a pit. Don't need too many green rupees. And there's the old man, who's still safe at his house. Guide him past the pits and the various keys, which are pathetically easy to kill, as they are in most Zelda games. And we'll get an item. Which is just money. Unfortunately, I don't get hit by boulders. We'll cut through his house. Of course, as soon as I said I don't get hit by boulders, I get hit by a boulder. It is like asking lightning to strike you, basically. Sneak through here and go up the tower. I think this is probably one of the few occasions where Death Mountain isn't actually a volcano. There are lava pits in Turtle Rock, but that's really the only thing. It doesn't appear to be volcanic in any way. It's first a volcano in... Oh no, wait, well it's not a volcano in the original one, it's just sort of a fairly ominous location. It's from Ocarina of Time onwards that it started being a volcano and became more associated with the Gorons. Because the enemies running around, dead rocks, while they're sort of proto-Gorons in a sense. They look like them, but they're definitely not. You want to keep everything with the reddened blocks down as you're going through this. It makes it a lot easier, and you can access the health at the end if you're running a bit low, or if Moldorm has knocked you off the platform too many times. Just a few flashbacks of trying to deal with that thing, and the frustration is evident in my voice, let's be honest. In that original recording, it took a long time to try and deal with it. This time, I have the Golden Sword. I should be able to put him down in a couple of blows, assuming I don't bounce off too much. But yeah, it's not too hard to navigate. In fact, it is a fairly simple dungeon overall. If you have the hook shot, you can get the big chest without worrying about the floor panels on the 5th floor. Well, a bit of money never hurts. Yeah, I got that, so take care of that, and watch out for the fireballs. Think those are meant to be miniature Dodongos? The enemy doesn't otherwise appear in this game. They had Dodongo snakes in Link's Awakening, but I don't know, they always reminded me of vacuum cleaners for some reason. So we'll make our way past this, hit this, and drop in from the top of this. Go up to get 20 rupees. A little disappointing. You will have to drop down to the floor below if you use the hook shot. Also worth noting, if you decide to randomize where the bosses are, Moldorm becomes a lot easier. He'll still bounce you around, but you don't have to worry about falling into the pit. And I still managed to fall off. I've got the golden sword, I said. I should be fine, I said. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. If it does, it's going to be hilarious. For everyone who's not me. Hopefully. Interestingly, when you're fighting... Now I just look like an idiot. As I was going to say, you can take out Moldorm with 2 blows of the Golden Sword. However, spin attacks will not take him out in one shot. There we go! And we got the shovel, useful for 1 item. So we'll have to see what crystal we got. Okay, we actually got one of the essential ones. That's pretty good. I'll quickly make a jaunt over to Turtle Rock, and then we'll see what we've got with the shovel. If you have the Pegasus boots, dash into that, and you'll get a fairy. What's up there? Heart piece, like it is in the regular game. I will actually grab that. Oh wait, no, I can't go into Turtle Rock. Whoops! Still probably thinking along the lines of the previous one. So what we'll do is we'll go grab that item with the shovel, and then I think it's a good time to wrap up. Wait a minute, they're supposed to be green. Why do they sort of go a purpley colour? Alright, let's see what we have. Press Y to access the shovel and switch back to the flute. If you have the mushroom, press Y to switch to that on the magic powder. Also, press Y to quickly switch between bottles. We dug up 20 rupees. We're ending it just like the first episode, basically. Anyhow, thank you very much for watching. I'm pleased to have you with me, and I will see you in the next one.